For centuries, physics was like a perfect clock. In classical mechanics, if you want to know everything about an object, say, a rolling marble or a massive planet, you turn to Isaac Newton. You solve his famous equation of motion, F equals ma. By doing this, you find a single magic variable, its exact position over time, x of t. Once you have x of t, you hold the keys to the kingdom. You can easily calculate its velocity, its exact momentum, and its total energy. Classical physics is perfectly predictable. You ask nature a direct question, and it gives you a direct, definite answer. But in the early 1900s, when scientists zoomed down to the world of atoms, this clockwork universe completely shattered. Particles didn't track along neat lines anymore. To describe them, the physicist Erwin Schrödinger borrowed a mathematical trick from classical physics, the math we use to describe waves on a string or ripples in water. He formulated the famous Schrödinger equation. But instead of giving us a definitive position x, his equation left us with a mathematical enigma, the wave function, symbolized by the Greek letter psi. And here was the massive problem. The wave function itself was physically meaningless. You couldn't measure it in a lab. It contained imaginary numbers like root of -1. It didn't tell you where the particle was. So, what did it actually psi mean? The breakthrough came in 1926 from physicist Max Born. He proposed an idea so radical that it split the physics community in half. Born suggested that the wave function isn't a physical wave of matter at all. It is a wave of probability. He stated that while psi itself doesn't mean anything real, if you take its absolute square, you get something deeply physical. Let's introduce a crucial variable, ρ. We call ρ the probability density. According to Born's interpretation, ρ equals modulus psi squared. Now, it is vital to understand that Born did not prove this mathematically from the Schrödinger equation. He couldn't. Instead, this stands as a fundamental postulate of quantum mechanics. A postulate is an assumption we accept as true because every single experiment we run confirms it perfectly. Nature doesn't tell us exactly where a particle is, it only gives us the odds. To truly grasp what a probability density, ρ, means, let's look at standard statistics. If you roll a regular six-sided die, the outcomes are separate, distinct steps. You can roll a 1, a 2, or a 3, each with a fixed probability. To find the average outcome, what statisticians call the expectation value, you just multiply each number by its probability and add them up. But a quantum particle flying through space isn't stepping along a grid. Its position is continuous. It could be at position 1.0, 1.0002, or 1.5. Because there are infinite possible points, the probability of finding a particle at one exact mathematical is practically zero. Instead, we look at the probability of finding the particle within a tiny, microscopic window or interval between position x and a tiny bit further, x plus dx. This is where our probability density ρ comes in. The actual probability, let's call it capital dP, of finding the particle in that tiny window is the density multiplied by the width of the window. dP equals ρ dx equals modulus psi squared 2x. Because the particle must exist somewhere in the universe, if you add up, or integrate, all these probabilities across all of space from -infinity to +infinity, the total probability must equal 100%, or exactly 1. Integral -infinity to infinity ρ dx equals integral -infinity to infinity modulus psi squared dx equals 1. This is called the normalization condition. If a wave function cannot be normalized to equal 1, it cannot represent a real particle in our universe. Because quantum mechanics is fundamentally statistical, it cannot predict the result of a single measurement. If you set up one electron and measure it, it might pop up on the left. Set up the exact same electron state again, and it might pop up on the right. Instead, quantum mechanics predicts the average result of measuring the exact same state an infinite number of times. We call this the expectation value, written in angle brackets. For position, the average position x is found by sandwiching the variable between the wave function and its complex conjugate. Expectation value of x equals integral -infinity to infinity psi star x psi dx. But remember how in classical physics, knowing the position gave us the momentum. How do we find the average momentum in quantum mechanics if everything is written in terms of position x? We can't just plug the variable of momentum into the equation. Instead, we must transform momentum into a mathematical action called an operator. By tracking how the average position changes over time, physicists derived the momentum operator, symbolized as P operator. P operator equals minus IH bar del by del x. So, to find the average momentum of a quantum particle, we let this operator act directly on the wave function inside our integral. P equals integral minus infinity to infinity psi star, minus IH bar del by del x, psi dx. Every physical quantity, whether it's energy, angular momentum, or position, has its own specific operator. You sandwich the operator in the middle of the wave function, calculate the integral, and nature hands you the statistical average. Since all classic dynamic variables can be expressed in terms of position and momentum, to calculate the expectation value we can replace position and momentum by the operator x and minus IH bar del by del x. Insert the resulting operator between psi star and psi. Let's see the calculation for kinetic energy using momentum operator. This statistical view of nature directly explains the most famous rule in quantum physics, Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. It all comes down to the fundamental physics of waves. Imagine a perfect, infinitely long harmonic wave rippling through space. Because it has a perfectly repeating pattern, its wavelength lambda is flawlessly defined. And according to quantum mechanics, wavelength is momentum. So, in this state, our particle's momentum is perfectly known. But look at its probability density ρ. Because the wave is the same everywhere, the density is completely flat across the universe. The particle could be anywhere. The uncertainty in its position is infinite. Now, look at the other side. What if we want to pin down the particle's position? To create a localized particle nature, we must bundle a vast number of different waves together. Their peaks add up in one tiny spot, creating a sharp wave pulse or packet. Now, we know exactly where the particle is, its position is well defined. But because we had to mix together an infinite variety of different wavelengths to build this sharp pulse, we have completely lost track of its wavelength. Its momentum is now completely uncertain. A mathematical function cannot be a single infinite wave and a sharp localized pulse at the same time. And that is why a particle cannot have a precise position and a precise momentum simultaneously. The wave function is not a physical cloud of matter. It is a cloud of possibilities, governed by the laws of probability density. Nature, at its deepest level, doesn't operate on absolute certainties. It operates on a beautifully calculated roll of the cosmic dice. Thanks for watching, and keep exploring the quantum world.